Whoa, I'm back. Insert some corny joke about King returning or whatever. Um, I was busy for an extended period of time, so I stopped doing this for an extended period of time. But I'm way too excited about this card to not do a video, even though I ended up being busier this week than I thought I was going to be. But I have to talk about this. This is one of the most historic cards I've ever witnessed. I've been a fan of this sport for a decade. Um, but before I actually get into my predictions or any actual takes about it, I want to go on a little rant. I'm so sick of the UFC stripping their champions before this fight. So, Mackenzie Dern and Virna Jandiroba fought for the vacant strawweight fight, last month. And then Ilya and Charles fought for the vacant lightweight title already. That's annoying, okay? That's really annoying because now the UFC seems to have forgot about that. I don't know how many of you guys watched the press conference, but they still have Islam and Zhang Wei Li having their belts in front of them at the press conference. And it's like, dude, did you fucking forget? They're not champions anymore. Man, they're not. They're champions of nothing. They have no division to return to. They're contenders in both divisions now. It's not champion versus champion. You can't advertise it that way because you made the decision to get greedy and have a champion fight before. The idea, historically, the idea was that you get stripped of your belt. Like, Islam should be champion until him versus JDM starts. That's historically how it worked. Was he was champion up until the gate closed for him versus JDM, and when that happened, the interim champion that was already crowned is now elevated to real champion. That's how it went historically. Was they would name an interim champion, or sometimes they'd say screw you, like they had Yair as the interim champion for literally no reason. And he never got elevated. But it's like you, whatever. That's already 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this video. It's stupid. Stop stripping your champions if you still want to advertise them as champions. And if you want to do this, oh, there's 4 champions on one card. No, there's not. There's 2. There's 2 champions and 2 contenders. And if you want to get technical about it, there's 2 contenders who have not fought in that division. Like, if we actually want to get down to the brass tacks, Islam has never fought at welterweight. That could be wrong. I might not be right about that. And Zhang Wei Li has never fought at flyweight, which could be even more flagrantly wrong. But you know what I mean? If they have fought, they don't have stellar. It's not like they're the guys. But anyway, moving on. Let's get into this. They screwed up the order of the card, so I'm actually glad that God made me wait so that now I can actually preview the card in its entirety in real order, because a few of these fights got moved around, starting with the first one. Now, the first one, this was not the first fight before. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Ethan Ewing. I was actually really, really, really excited for Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cody Haddon, but whatever, things happen. Malcolm Wellmaker is probably just about to eat this kid. And I mean, that's that. Malcolm Wellmaker is really good. He is 31 though. I thought he was younger than that, but picking Malcolm Wellmaker probably by knockout. This guy literally just got the call, I think, yesterday, and the fights are tomorrow. So, whoopsies. Rest in peace. Moving on to the next fight. I actually don't think I know either of these people, if I'm being real. Vyacheslav Borchiev versus Matheus Camilo. I'm gonna go. What's his? I'm gonna trail Son and Max here, Camilo or whatever. He's minus 170, which is not the only thing that I'm looking at. He is a whole decade younger, 24 compared to 33, and lightweight is still young people's divisions. People act like the cutoff is featherweight, but the cutoff is for sure lightweight. You can have success in even welterweight, a little bit older, but lightweight, featherweight, flyweight, bantamweight, any of those, you got to be a young strapping lad to be able to get that small and actually be able to compete with the young strapping lads who were that small. So whoopsies, this Russian guy is getting sent to the slaughter. The odds are actually pretty close, but looking at it, I don't see a method of victory for this Russian bald boy. So Moving on, we got Hamzat's boy versus Eric Mechanico. Minus 1,000 odds. You know, what do I have to say about that? This is Hamzat's boy. People expect him to go undefeated for a very, very long time. I don't expect necessarily that or for him to become champion or anything. I was there in Chicago for him to fight fucking Eric Nolan, and Eric Nolan actually did a little decent against him. Not like, you know what I mean, I'm not going to rewrite history or anything like that, but Eric Nolan was definitely, like, after that first round, it was like, oh, wait, hang on, is this not going to be the slaughter that I thought it was going to be? And then, of course, Eric Nolan got finished in round 2, but still. So yeah, I'm going to pick Hamzat's boy because he's Hamzat's boy. Also notice that he's Russian and not even like Chechnyan or Swedish or anything like that. Oh, I'm way to be ignorant, bro. He's fucking Russian because Chechnya doesn't exist. Anyway, Angela Hill versus Fatima Klein. Angela Hill's 40, dude. Like, she was never really that good. She kind of Kevin Holland maxed her way to stardom, and by that I mean she fought like 5-6 times in 1 year. But I mean 25 to 40. That's sometimes that's the only stat you gotta look at. You know what I mean? You're 40 years old. Like you're older than my boss as a janitor. You know, like unironically, that's not a thing that I made up. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna go with Fatima Klein, even though I've actually never heard of her. I don't think. Let me live right here on the webcam. Have you fought anybody of? You fought Jasmine Jasudavicius, but you lost. So no, she hasn't fought anybody of. But she's also minus 525. So most of Vegas agrees that Angela Hill is too old. Moving on, Pat Sabatini versus Cheap Mariscal. I thought Mariscal was a lot younger than he is. He's 33 years old. Pat Sabatini is 35 years old. I still think I actually might go with Mariscal on this one. I don't know. He's a little bit of a wild man. Pat Sabatini is also not really that good. Cheap Mariscal is really strong for how retarded he is. So, I don't know. I feel like there's a very good chance that he clips Pat Sabatini. I think there's a very good chance that Pat Sabatini isn't able to like get takedowns and or hold him down with his little jiu-jitsu. I don't know. Yeah, I'm picking Cheap Mariscal for this one. This is also the most impromptu video I've ever made. This is how I intended my channel to be, is not make notes or anything and just go through and go, oh, I think this guy's going to win. I think this guy's going to win. So this is the authentic MMA janitor experience that I've always sought to capture. Moving on, Kyle Dawkins versus GM3. I almost want to pick GM3 just because it's funny, but like his record is 37-20. You know what I mean? It's not quite the best record. He's 37 years old. That's funny. He has as many wins as he does years being alive. Kyle Dawkins is only 32, so he hasn't quite started the descent into to not being physically fit anymore. In which GM3 did objectively 2 years ago start the descent into not being as physically fit, at least. And he was also never that good. So, I mean, not that Kyle Dawkins is really super good, but Kyle Dawkins is alright and younger, and has a nice, like, frame and whatnot. He's got the grappling credentials to deal with the singular threat that Gerald Meerschaert has. And yeah. I'm going to pick Kyle Dawkins for that one, and that rounds up the early prelims because this card decided to have 27 early prelims. So now time for our first fight on the regular prelims, which only has 3 fights for some reason. Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. This fight, I'm going to say it right now, obviously this fight's not going to be entertaining to watch. Everybody knows this fight's not going to be entertaining to watch. These are two of realistically the best like grapplers in their respective shits. They're both pretty young. Erin Blanchfield significantly younger than Tracy Cortez. I thought Tracy Cortez was younger. She's 31. Erin Blanchfield is 26. Erin Blanchfield has a lot of the statistical advantages, and she has fought higher level opponents with a slightly better record. She's 13-2. Tracy Cortez is 12-2. I'll get those 2 losses for you right now. Erin Blanchfield lost to Manon Fiorot. I don't know why I couldn't pronounce that. And, Tracy Cortez. Interesting. I didn't know this was a 2. I didn't know this was a rematch because that's how much of a casual I am. Tracy Cortez has lost to Rose Namajunas, happens, and she lost her first professional fight. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Tracy Cortez on this one, honestly. And that actually doesn't have that much to do with the fact that Tracy Cortez beat her before, because that fight, if Erin Blanchfield is 26 right now, and she lost to Tracy Cortez, let me catch the year real quick, in 2019, that was, what? So yeah, she was like 19 years, okay. So it really doesn't matter, she was a young one. But I don't know, I like Tracy Cortez, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to pick against her. And that's, yeah, I think Tracy Cortez is going to win. 26-31, Tracy Cortez hasn't gone down, you know what I mean? And Erin Blanchfield still hasn't hit her physical prime. As much as she's not a little kid like she was in their first fight, she's still younger and in the sense of not being fully mature. Whereas Tracy Cortez is absolutely 100,000% more mature. And by that, I mean physically, obviously. Not that actually even matters that much. I'm pretty much talking nonsense. But I don't know. I like Tracy Cortez. I'm going to pick Tracy Cortez. But this is going to be a boring fight. I'm very excited for this fight. I had a whole thing with Wam. This fight's not going to be fun, but this fight is important for the division, so I'm definitely going to watch it. Moving on, Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodriguez. People really, really, really fell off Roman Kopylov, didn't they? That's actually so funny. He's the underdog against Gregory Rodriguez right now, off of losing to simply Paulo Costa and fucking Anthony Hernandez. But that was, you know what I mean? That was a little bit before. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's funny. I think it's funny how high people were on Roman Kopylov for them to just immediately disregard him. I might actually pick him. I don't know, though. I really like Gregory Rodriguez. Y'all should know that. He's kind of a dog. He kind of really just doesn't give a fuck. But he's lost to some funnies. He lost to Armin Petrosian. He lost to Bruno Ferreira. He lost to Jared Cannonier. He lost to Bruno Lopez. He lost to Renato Rangel. Lost to Jordan Williams. So it's I don't know. I feel like this is one of those ones where you're like, oh yeah, Roman Kopylov is kind of falling off. He's kind of not that good anymore, or maybe he was never as good as we thought. And this Gregory Rodriguez guy is amazing. But then you're not realizing that Gregory Rodriguez also isn't really that good. They have the same reach, even though Roman Kopylov is 3 inches shorter, which, you know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta decide right now, don't I? I guess I'll pick Roman Kopylov. I'll pick Roman Kopylov just because, I don't know, I'm not confident in the Gregory Rodriguez pick right now, even though I am. I'm more of a fan of Gregory Rodriguez than I am of Roman Kopylov, but for some reason I'm just getting this feeling, Cue Imagine Dragons, I feel it in my bones. But moving on, Bo Nickel versus whoever the fuck this guy is. Bo Nickel should win. It's not RDR. Which puts some respect on my name for knowing for a fact that RDR was going to beat Bo Nickel. But anyway, Bo Nickel is pretty good. I don't want to come off as a Bo Nickel hater. He definitely has really, really good wrestling credentials. It's just nobody else knew who RDR was. It was pissed me off. How is this guy a favorite? But anyway, he'll probably beat this guy. 36 years old. I don't know who this guy is. Who has he fought? Let's do some very vague, low-level research. He's lost to Armin Petrosian. He lost to Chris Curtis. He lost to Anthony Hernandez. He's losing to Bo Nickel. And that's just how that goes. Moving on. First fight on the main card. Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I I've said that a lot this card. I thought Beneil was younger. Beneil is 36 years old. I thought Beneil was younger, and I thought Saint Denis was older because he's only 29. So literally just off that stats, I'm sorry, Beneil, you're probably going to have to retire soon. Benoit Saint Denis is going to prove that he is at least a contender. He's been kind of getting, he got mopped by Moicano. He got mopped by Dustin Poirier. People completely forgot that he fought on the Belal versus JDM card. He beat Houfi, but Houfi, I don't even know what was going on there. He's still my boy. But yeah, that was a bad performance from Houfi. But this is going to be the performance where at least I'm like, yeah, okay, Benoit is pretty good. He deserves to be up there. That's why he exists. I'm picking Benoit Saint Denis. I think he's probably going to be stronger. Probably going to have maybe not a technical grappling advantage, but definitely a striking advantage. And I feel like he'll be able to manhandle Beneil a little Benny D. Moving on. Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. When Carlos Prates called out Leon Edwards in DDP versus Chimaev after he knocked out Jeff Neal or whatever, I was like, there's no way. There's literally no way Leon Edwards takes that fight. Leon Edwards is a pussy. Leon Edwards doesn't want to do uncomfortable things. He just fought not that long ago. There's no way he's taking this fight. He takes the fucking fight, dude? What? Okay. He's dying. He's literally going to get knocked the fuck out. He's never been knocked out, but CP... Bro, he had Ian Gary doing the chicken legs falling over in round 5. CP is going at it. He's going to knock Leon Edwards out. Leon Edwards is a pussy. He's definitely not going to stick around that much longer. He's not that good. Never should have been champion. And, I think... I'm really tired. I just slept for 13 hours, so there's no reason for me to be tired. But Leon Edwards is too clean with it. He's too much of a point fighter to trying to make it a karate fight or whatever, even though he's not a karate guy, but you know what I mean. And CP fights way too wildly, but also intelligently. CP is one of the best Muay Thai people we've seen in the UFC. There's Darren Till, CP, Petr Yan. People want to throw Fiziev in there, so I know people are going to get upset if I don't say Fiziev. But, Anderson Silva, obviously, with his tie clinch. Anderson Silva is one of the best people ever. But you know what I'm saying. CP is definitely up there. So he's probably going to spin Leon Edwards' head around like a goddamn cartoon or something like that. Moving on. Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. I am swiftly becoming quite the Michael Morales glazer, bro. He is very entertaining, very young, and I don't know, I just like his drip. He looks cool, I like him. He's very calm, I like the way he handled himself at the press conference. Yeah, I think if I was a betting man, if I was going to put money on this fight, there's a reason why Sean Brady is favorited. He definitely has the grappling advantage. There's definitely a universe where he just bullies Michael Morales to the canvas for 15 minutes straight. Doesn't really let him get up. Maybe, sinks in a headlock or something at some point. But, I mean, dude, there's something about this guy. Michael Morales just has aura, bro. I'm just gonna say it. He's him. He really does feel like one of those people. He's gonna touch Sean Brady, and then Sean Brady's head is literally going to explode. He's going to red mist Sean Brady. I just feel it. And Sean Brady's really not that good. I mean, okay, he is pretty good. I don't want to say he's not that good, but he's, you know what I mean? He got worked by Belal, and then what has he done since then? Nothing. He got worked by Belal. He subbed Kelvin Gastelum. Who cares, right? He beat Gilbert Burns by decision. Didn't Gilbert Burns... No, I don't know. I don't know if that's the fight that he only had one arm, but still... And then he subbed Leon Edwards, which, again, who cares? Leon Edwards fucking blows, dude. So, yeah, I'm picking Michael Morales. 26 years old. He's going to be around for at least a fucking decade. Can't wait for it. I hope he uppercuts Sean Brady literally into the nosebleeds. Moving on. Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. oh boy, am I excited for this fight. This has been a dream matchup of mine for a long time, and I really didn't think I was ever going to be able to see it happen because Zhang Weili seemed just content with ruling over the strawweight division. Valentina's 37, Zhang Weili's 36. It's not even really an issue of age, not even really an issue of fight experience. 25-4-1 is Valentina's record. 26-3-0 is Zhang Weili's record. I cannot stress enough that this is simply one of the greatest, at least like accolade-wise, women's fights we have ever seen. This absolutely has the potential, at least, to rival Joanna versus Zhang Weili that happened 6 years ago. There's so much, bro, obviously they're both, okay, Valentina feels like she's getting older. Okay, it's kind of stood out in the last few of her performances dating back to Talia Santos in 2022. That was when it seemed like she was probably done. Okay, then she lost to Grasso, but then that seemed like weirdly fluky. Went to a draw with Grasso, which most people felt that she won. Then she ended up winning against Grasso, proving that she is still at the top of her game. Then she beat Manon Fiorot just in May, which I did not expect at all. I definitely thought Fiorot was going to beat her. I thought that was a passing of the torch moment, but it was not. Zhang Weili has been champion of strawweight for ages. Dude, she beat Jessica Andrade in 2019, okay? Then went on to fight Joanna in 2020, then lost to Rose, got the championship back in 2022, has been champion for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? She, I don't know, dude. And they both have, for a while, the talk was that Zhang Weili's grappling wasn't really that good. She came to America, trained with Henry Cejudo. Her grappling is nuts now, dude. Valentina, again, she's a Muay Thai base. She's had some insane grappling moments, though. She definitely, I don't know, dude. They're both just so good. They're both, they're both at the point where they should be taking a step back. They should be declining, but neither of them really have that much. You know what I mean? Sorry, I just got a phone call. I had to, whatever. I could edit that out, but I actually don't feel like it. What was I saying, though? Anyway, I think I'm going to pick Zhang Weili. I really, really like Valentina, but I've really, really got on the Zhang Weili bandwagon. She was my arch nemesis when she beat Joanna the first time, and then when she beat her the second time, I was, oh, you fucking bitch, bro. But I've come around. I like her. That's how this sport goes for me, is the thing, is someone gets beat. I remember when Max Holloway beat Anthony Pettis, and I was like, you fucking kid, you. And Max Holloway's one of my favorite fighters. It just happens. So I'm going to pick Zhang Weili. I really, 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 really would like to see the crowning of a new double champion, even though that's not the way that it's actually framed. And I also want just more names in the Mount Rushmore of women's MMA, because I really don't like the idea that it's worse. You know what I mean? I think they these two are fucking monsters, man. These are absolute warriors right here. And there's 25 more years of history. I think exactly 20 more years of men's MMA history than there is women's history. So obviously you can, oh, well, what about GSP? What about Anderson Silva? What about this? Yeah, bro, because they fought before women even were allowed to. You know what I mean? So let's just, I'm down for the witnessing of history no matter what it is. Moving on, though, to another very historic fight, or at least the predecessor to the most historic fight in UFC history, quite possibly. JDM versus Islam Makhachev. If Islam is able to successfully beat JDM and then move back down to lightweight and fight Ilia Topuria, I'm going to cream my jeans. Literally, just because of that, I'm going to pick Islam. I think Jack Della Maddalena has the skills to beat Islam. I'm really not going to be surprised either way. I'm sorry for kind of fence-sitting on that one. I can definitely see JDM stuffing the takedowns, boxing Islam up, just being faster, more used to the size, all of that, right? I just really want Islam to fight Ilya in the future, and I feel like the path for that to be the biggest event is for Islam to win and then move back down. And that, like, featherweight / lightweight champ fighting lightweight / welterweight champ, you're not going to get a bigger fight than that for a very, very, very long time. So literally, purely just off of that, I'm going to pick Islam. And I'm not really going to go into details too much on this fight because I'm busy and I got to leave soon. But I cannot wait for this card. And no matter how this main event goes, it should be interesting. Islam's not the type to actually just lay and pray, and Jack Della Maddalena is too good to just get laid on the whole time. So at the very, very least, every single fight on this card can go through, and then these last 2 fights are going to deliver. But that's not even going to be the Leon Edwards versus Carlos Like, oh my God, I can't stress enough how excited I am for this card. But that's it. I'm going to stop yapping because I got to quickly edit this video before I got to leave. So,